welcome to our coverage of the WNBA on 2K Sports. In this game, we'll see the Los Angeles Sparks against the Golden State Valkyries. With Brian Banafitemi and Tim Swartz, I'm Blake Suniga, and we're thrilled to have you with us. Hey, whenever you come to the Bay, these Valkyrie fans make themselves heard.
Nothing like the traditional SoCal-NorCal rivalry. The upstart new Valkyries welcoming in one of the glamour franchises in the W, the LA Sparks, as they start up this rivalry.
And for Los Angeles, this is the first of 4 games they'll play this season against the Valkyries.
Team Swish, what is going on? It is your boy Nick Swish, bringing you guys the debut of the one and only Diana Gates. Your girl is playing on the LA Sparks, man, playing against the Golden State Valkyries. Shout out to the Valkyries, man. They had a hell of a season. An expansion team making their first playoffs in their very first season. That's something special, man. You know, I really did like to bunker down on watching their games, and I thought they were, you know, one of the best defenses in the league. And it was just, I know that's a team that has a very bright future. I think they're about maybe a star, maybe a star and an all-star away from really competing on a higher level. I think they're a really good team, man. So shout out to the Golden State Valkyries. They did their thing this year. I mean, they went up against the head of the beast, dog. They went up against Nafisa Collier. As you guys are going to see, I got to go up against Fee as well. Shout out to Fee, man. I love Fee so much. It's one of my favorite players in the W. Probably my second favorite player behind Asia Wilson. But, yeah, man, Diana Gates. She's here. I'm excited for, you know, making these videos for you guys. I feel like the W isn't getting enough coverage. I feel like even with 2K, it's not getting enough. But I want to be somebody that, you know, maybe can pioneer that. You know, we're getting a lot more, you know, feedback from fans and even the critics. And obviously the viewership and the league is growing. You know, there's expansion teams coming next year. It's going to be very exciting for the W. And as somebody who, you know, has watched the W, I'll even say, you know, probably for maybe since, I don't know, say 2007, 2008, and more consistently in the past, I would say 7 years. You know, watching the W, is so many talented players that have come through this league. You know, Maya Moore is one of my GOATs. I think she is the greatest player to ever play this game and at the women's level. And you got to give a shout out to Candace Parker. Candace Parker is my favorite W player of all time. Shout out to her, man. And I think, you know, just having the ability to play this mode, I think is going to be really cool for my channel. I think it's going to be really cool, you know, for those who might be searching for this kind of content on YouTube. They have something to watch now, so I want to be that for people. Once again, I want to be somebody that, you know, kind of pioneers and steers the game in a certain way, even if it's just on a video game. So I'm looking forward to that. But enough of the, you know, the little gab and the talking about, you know, the real life stuff. I want to get into the action of this game. So I told you guys before that I wanted to do this W series. Diana is a shooter. I'll tell you guys that. Diana's a shooter. She's a 3-and-D guard. She does what she's supposed to do out on the court, and playing as her is pretty fun. You know, I will say the next game, I don't want to spoil too much. The next game, playing against Fee as your second game, and I wanted to guard Fee. I wanted to make sure Diana guarded Fee. Playing against Fee, I don't give a damn if it's 2K. I don't care if it's real life. I know people be in hell in real life, but playing against me in 2K is something else, man. You know, she's such a dynamic basketball player. She can do damn near everything from a basketball perspective. She's a very good shooter. She's going to hit you with every post move in the book. She's going to kill you with step throughs. It's like, God damn, like what am I supposed to do with this lady? So guarding her was quite a challenge. But again, I'm not going to spoil too much. I hope to see her in the future of this series, you know, maybe in a playoff run, something. Like, I don't know what it might be, but I hope to see her in something. You know, I think if we play them in like a playoff series or anything like that, I think it'll be very interesting. And guarding her is something I'm just going to have to be up for. But we are up by 3 points here in this game. You see Diana putting up the tray ball, getting it to go. Now, I will admit, it was kind of hard shooting with Diana at first because I was trying to get used to this jump shot in comparison to my NBA players' jump shot. You know, Nick Swish's jump shot, it's not nearly as fast. You know, Diana's shot is a lot slower. She has more of a set shot. So trying to get used to that, it was a bit of a struggle for your boy shooting the ball. And I was trying to figure it out as the game went on. But the Valkyries, like I said, they play great defense. So it wasn't a whole lot of open looks for me. And the looks I did find, I had to take advantage of them. You know, it was something that I'm like, all right, bro, like, they're not going to let up on defense. They're swarming the perimeter. They're shutting off the inside. I got to run some pick and rolls. I have to do something. I have to figure out ways to create space. You see me hitting the jab with Diana. She misses, but we get the ball right back. Shout out to Azurá Stevens getting the board, putting it back up. And, yeah, man, we are going to walk away with this W against the Valkyries. Now, I thought about going to the Valkyries, but I did see, shout out to my dog Stacks and his lovely lady. I believe she plays for the Valkyries, if I'm not mistaken. So I was like, well, I want to play for my hometown team. Sparks is the team I grew up watching. Candace Parker, my favorite player, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, let me go to the Sparks. I want to do something a little different. So that's how I landed on the Sparks. And who knows if I'll stay with the Sparks forever, or I might make a change. We'll see how that goes. But the next game is coming up. Y'all going to see how I went against Fee. And I'll say this. It went great, but playing it was a different story.
Hey folks, welcome into some WNBA action on 2K Sports. Moments away, it'll be the Minnesota Lynx going up against the Los Angeles Sparks. This is Blake Zuniga alongside Tim Swartz and Brian Benefitemi, and we're excited for some 2K hoops.
Well, in case you forgot, these LA fans are reminding everyone that they can make some serious noise.
And when Minnesota comes here to Southern California, Sparks fans have to think back to those back-to-back finals in the 2010s where they faced off a pair of classic series.
And so for Minnesota, well, they clearly had the upper hand in last year's season series, winning 3 of the last 4 games against the Sparks. The regular season.
So we're here live from Staples Center. No, I'm not calling this Crypto.com Arena. I don't want to hear none of that. We're live from Staples Center. Diana straight out the gates, getting the green light money release on the tray ball. And again, we're playing against Nafisa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx. Shout out Stud Buzz, shout out Courtney Williams, man. We're playing against the Lynx. And being in LA on 2K, you know, for the W, for the Sparks games, the lighting of the arena, like, you guys might be able to see it, but I don't think it'll really do it enough justice. You see I'm out here firing from all cylinders with Diana. It won't really do it enough justice, but, man, the lighting in this game, the way it's changed and the way it looks in certain arenas, like, I really noticed it playing as, you know, the Sparks. It looks so good. And going to plenty of Sparks games in real life myself, I can tell you it's pretty accurate. You know, it's pretty similar to how it actually looks in real life. So I do appreciate the little details that 2K goes to work on. And I think this year they really paid a lot of attention to detail with stuff like that, because not every arena is like, sometimes the arenas be looking overcast, and then it's like, it looks like it's all just depressing. It's all dark in the arenas. That's not how that arena looks. Like, I've seen it on TV. I might have been there if it's like the Intuit Dome, or if it's the Laker game and I'm going to Staples Center, or even at the Heat Arena. Like, I've been to the Heat Arena. I've been to where the Hawks play at. It used to be Phillips Arena. I've been there. That's not how it looks in real life. So I'm glad 2K really addressed that. I know little details don't matter for everybody, but they matter for me. So Diana out here doing her thing early. I'm trying to execute the game plan, which is get up as many threes as possible, because Minnesota Lynx shoot a lot of goddamn threes. So I wanted to try to match their energy the best that I could. And I was doing pretty well for myself. I thought I was, you know, out here trying to start up the offense, make things easier for everybody. You see me hitting another tray ball with Diana. She gets it to go. And shout out to Rakia Jackson, man. Shout out to her in real life, and shout out to her in this game. In this game, she was knocking down everything from the corner. If I ran a pick and roll and for some reason they overhelped when I drove to the basket, Kia was right there in that corner knocking them shots down, man. She was so crucial in this game. And when you play against a team like the Lynx, again, this is the best team in the W right now. They just won their Series 2-0 against the Valkyries. They're going to play either the Mercury or the Liberty in the second round. For me, I hope it's the Liberty. I would much prefer them play the Liberty. I think that would be a much more entertaining series. But I have a bad feeling that the Mercury are going to win tonight, and I don't know. I'm not a fan. I don't want to speak too much on it until I play the Mercury, and then I go into more detail on why I'm not a fan of the Liberty, or not a fan of Liberty, a fan of the Mercury. But yeah, man, I just wanted to make sure that if we're going to beat a team like this, and again, the Sparks didn't make the playoffs in real life, but I'm trying to make the playoffs on here. If we're going to beat a team like this, a lot of threes got to go up. So that's exactly what I was doing. I was knocking down threes at a crazy clip. Diana was looking like Steph Curry out there, bro. It was crazy. And once we kind of started to pull away, I think we figured something out. You know, it just seemed like the flow was there. We could not miss. Diana damn sure couldn't miss. So it's just like, dog, like, if we're in a flow state like this, who's really going to stop us? You see, it's a 25-point lead. Now, again, I was telling y'all that I wouldn't spoil it. The part that I didn't want to spoil was the fact that we blew them out. But chasing Fee around for an entire game is not fun. And this is me playing on an easier difficulty until I get used to playing with the W play. So whenever I move this up to All-Star, Superstar, Hall of Fame, whatever I end up landing on once Diana gets better, pray for me, please. Because I'm not looking forward to guarding her. Diana is 5'11". Fee, I believe, is 6'1". So the height difference isn't that crazy, but the skill gap, man, it's something else. So luckily, I don't have to guard the Asia Wilsons of the world and stuff like that. But guarding Fee isn't that much more fun, man. So we'll see how it goes, man. But we are gonna wrap this video up, at least from my commentary aspect. I appreciate you guys so much for supporting me and rocking with me. I had a very long week and a half, like I told you guys. You know, I hadn't been able to push out videos. I was streaming. So I wanted to get this W video out for you guys. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe. Listen to Diana get these MVP chants. I'm out.
Yeah, they gave up the second overall pick in 2025 to get Kelsey. I think it was a solid move. The Sparks have lacked an elite scoring guard like Plum, and it's sending a clear message. We don't just want to win, we want to win now.
What an incredible run by the Lynx to the 2024 WNBA Finals.
Winning a clutch Game 5 against Connecticut in the semifinals and taking the liberty to fight.
And so it's the Sparks taking care of business in this one. The outcome of this one was never in doubt.
They were really putting out a supreme effort. You know, it felt like once they had this significant lead, they were not going to let it go.
And that's a wrap, everyone.
Please make sure you get home safely, and we'll see you next game.
Not sure which was hotter, the temperature outside today or your shooting. You beat the old mark of 9 threes, which earned you a spot in the record books. Have you cooled off yet?
Well, I certainly hope not. I'd like to do the same thing next game. Shooting is just one of those streaky things where just sometimes it feels like you can't miss, and today was one of those times.
Kelsey Mitchell, Jewel Lloyd, and Kelsey Plum are some of the best shooters in the league. They were all tied for the previous record. Where do you slot in with this group?
I think as long as the four of us are still playing, no shooting record is safe. I broke it today. Jewel could go out and break it tomorrow. Plum could go out and break it next week. That's just what shooters do.
All right.
It is your boy Fred on the beat.